Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now that we've finished our course, we're going to start to put everything together. I want you to look, and what you're seeing here now is real-time trading. When you look at my chart, we are using Thinkorswim for our charting service, and we are using Lightspeed to actually enter our orders. Let's take a look at our chart of Win today. And I want to point out a couple of places in this chart where we already would have had trades to make. You remember the first trade that we talked about was a trend trade. And if we look at Win now, we could see from 9:45 this morning, the stock is showing us that it is in a beautiful uptrend. So if we remember how to execute this order, we are waiting for this stock to pull back to our 9 or our 15 EMA to get into a trend trade. So this is what we're going to do right now. We are going to put an order in, and we can see exactly where our 9 EMA is at $125.24. We're going to put an order in. And remember, when a stock is in an uptrend, we want to buy it when it pulls back to our 9 or our 65 EMA. So we are putting a limit order out to buy the stock if it hits 125.25, and we'll have entered a trend trade if it hits that level. So what we're doing now basically is we're going through all the different charts, and we're trying to look for our trading opportunities. What we can do now is, okay, we have our order out and Win. Great. We know if it comes down there, we want to enter into a trend trade and buy the stock. Let's look over here and Win, because this actually set up for another one of our trades, if you remember. This stock was $119. It made a high of $123. It was $4 away from our closest moving average. So what trade is that setting up for us to do? The far from moving average trade, right? We had over an 80 RSI. We actually almost had a 90 RSI in this stock at this point. The stock shows us this little red bar. Remember, when we're going to get into a far from moving average trade, as soon as we see that red bar, we push the button, we get short the stock. We would have been short this stock at about 123. In a $123 stock, we're looking to make $1 profit. We would have put our limit order in to buy it at 122, and we would have very quickly made $1 on that trade. So this is a real-time trade that happened at about 10:30 this morning. Now, we can see that Win is in a definite uptrend. And what we have to do with this stock now, we have to keep monitoring it and see if we have to keep raising our order to get in on the 9 EMA. And we can see it's going to keep trading. As this stock goes higher, our 9 EMA is going to come up. Right now, we have a bid-in limit order. Remember, we talked about limit and market orders? And it shows you right here, we have a limit order in to buy Win if the price hits 125.24. Well, we're going to raise that up a little bit now to 125.29. And this is how we spend our day as day traders. So I'm going to go through a few more charts. We are looking for trading opportunities. That's what we're looking for. Remember what I told you also. A lot of the trades that we're going to get are going to come from our rises and fallers list. This is the first thing we're going to look at in the morning. And these are stocks that are moving by dollar amount, whether it's up or whether it's down. So let's go through a few of these and see if there's any trades that maybe you're going to set up. Let's look at letter X. We look at letter X, and let's see what this stock has done for most of the day. If we look early in the morning, this stock just about touched our 9 EMA. It was in a beautiful downtrend. We would have shorted this stock when it hit our 9 EMA at 24.80. Stock went down $2 from that point. Now let's look at this stock. This stock is no longer in that downtrend, right? So if this stock, a $23 stock, gets above this trend by 20 or 25 cents, we would get out of the trade that we shorted up here at 24.80 and make about $1.20 on the trade. Now, this is the great thing about trading stocks and day trading. We might get 3 different trades out of letter X during the day. What is it doing now, ladies and gentlemen? This is another trade that we talked about. It's not there yet, but this stock is no longer in this trend, clearly. So now the stock is going sideways, right? So maybe this stock is going to start to build a base for us now. Remember, a base is a period of time when the stock goes sideways for at least a half hour, trades in that tight little range, and then maybe this is going to break up to the upside and tell us that the stock is going to start going up now. If that happens, let's remember our base trade. First, we need about a half hour. If that happens and the stock gets above the base by 5 cents, we're going to buy the stock because it's breaking out of the base to the upside. we'll try to make between 25 cents as the stock, 25 and 50 cents as the stock goes up from there, and we'll be out of our trade. Let's say there is no trade here, and we're just looking at letter X right now, and all of a sudden, this stock starts to rip up higher. Regular moving average trade. If this stock were to rip up to $24, it's probably about 80 cents. Tells us exactly what it is. When that stock hits that level, what are we going to do? Are we going to buy that stock or are we going to short that stock? Stock is moving up, hits 24.80, it's hitting resistance. We are going to short that stock. So we can actually put an order out in that right now. This stock would move up $1.30, hit our 65 EMA. The expectation is when it hits this level, it's going to hit this resistance level. It's going to give us the between 25 and 50 cents when this stock pulls back towards the other moving average. So let's do it. Let's put an order out. Again, a lot of day trading is waiting. We have to be patient. We have to be disciplined. We will never, ever, ever just make a trade to make a trade. So let's go to letter X, and let's put an order out to short this stock if it rallies up to our 65 EMA at $24.76. Is this going to happen? Probably not. But I know one thing, if it does happen, we want to be short that stock. So we're going to put in a limit order. And right here it says sell short. If this stock goes up to $24.76, we will short that stock at that exact price when it hits our resistance level. Let's just roll through a few more charts and see if we can find anything that is actually lining up for us to do. And if we can't, let's go back to win, because we might have to adjust our order. Now we're going to move our limit order up to 125.37. That is the new trend in win now. Let's modify our order up to 125.37. So while we're sitting here waiting for maybe these trades to hit, I want to walk you guys through actually how to put in a limit order, how to put in a market order, and how to put in a stop order. So we're going to go to a stock, Bank of America. If you remember what we talked about wanting volume and volatility in a stock. If we look at Bank of America, and that's why I'm using this one for an example. Look at the range of Bank of America today. The low sale, $23.86. The high sale, $24.13. This has had a 27-cent range. This is a stock that we will never day trade. It's not volatile enough for us. It doesn't have enough of a range. Remember, on most of our trades, we're looking to make between 25 cents and $1 every time we get into a trade. It's not going to give us that opportunity in Bank America, but it's a great example, and it'll be easy for me to show you how we actually put in our orders in this stock. Right now, the stock is trading between $23.98, and these are all the bids, people who want to buy the stock, and $23.99. These are all the offers, people who want to sell a stock. Let's put a bid in. And you can see by the volume in this stock, this has traded 26 million shares already today. So if I put a bid in at $23.99, my bid is going to go behind all these people who are already out here waiting to buy the stock. When you put an order in to the trading system, it goes by time, and anyone who has an order out there before you is going to go ahead of you. So let's put an order out to buy this stock with a limit order at $23.99. And you're going to see our order go into our system. Beautiful. I am willing to buy Bank of America if it trades at $23.99, everyone else is satisfied, and we get hit on our bid. Remember, when we put in a bid, we're getting long a stock. When we put out an offer, we're getting short a stock. And again, now we have to just sit here and wait to see if it hits our limit order. That's what a limit order is. We're picking the actual price where we want to buy or sell a stock. Now we have to be patient and see if that limit order gets hit. Let's say we didn't want to be patient, and I just want to buy this stock or I want to short this stock. That's when we use a market order. So let's cancel our limit order. Let's go, and right here where it says limit, we're going to change it to market. And I'm just going to buy the stock. Boom. I just bought the stock. Look at our position now. We are long 100 shares of Bank of America at $24.01. When you are long a stock, what do we need the stock to do in order for us to make money? We need the stock to go up. So what we're going to do now, and this is what we're going to do every single time. First thing we're going to do, anytime we get into a trade, first thing you're going to do is put out your stop order. Don't worry about how much money you're going to make. Always protect your initial investment by putting in a stop order. So let's say in a $24 stock, I only want to lose 20 cents on this trade. Very simple. We go down here, market type stop. I'll put in a price of $23.81. I will put in my stop order. Here it is. Beautiful. We're protected. If this stock goes to $23.81, it is automatically going to knock me out of that trade. Remember how important we talked about stop orders were. Once you put one in, don't ever change your stop order. We are going to have losing trades during the day. It's how we manage those trades that's going to be the difference between a successful day trader and one who's not. We can get by a losing trade. We can get by a losing day. What I don't want anyone ever to have to deal with is having a big loss in a stock. So pay attention to those rules. That is the most important thing we've ever talked about in this entire lesson. Now, how are we going to take a profit on this stock? Okay, we are long at $24.01. For demonstration purposes, let's try and sell this stock at $24.02. I'm going to put in a limit order. And now we'll see. Here we go. Here is my order now to sell Bank of America at $24.02. Two things are going to happen on this trade now. And again, this is just for demonstration purposes. I'm either going to lose 20 cents on this trade or I'm going to make 1 cent on this trade. And again, it's just for demonstration purposes to get you used to using your system. And by the way, your platform is probably going to look a lot different than this. Basically, they're all the same. Limit order, market order, stop order. One very, very important thing that I want to talk about for a minute. And this is important. This keyboard is how we make our living. So it's important for you to get proficient at using this keyboard. This is like an ATM to me. If I push the right buttons, money's going to come out of it. And if we push the wrong buttons, we're going to lose money. So it's very important for you to get good and throttle through and put orders in and take orders out and get used to using your overall keyboard. So right now, there's nothing going on in the market. It's kind of very quiet. Let's go back and look at our two orders that we have out there, because as traders, once I put an order out in one of my stocks, I have to be watching that stock at all times because it could change. Maybe I'm going to change my order and I don't want to do that trade anymore because it's not lining up for me to do. So let's go to letter X. One thing I want you guys to remember, and it's very important also, when we're trading, stay on an even keel. And that means if we're in a trade and we're making money, great. If we're in a trade and we're losing money, that's okay too. There's really not a difference between a winning trade and a losing trade if we execute that trade properly. So let's look at letter X, and we can see it's just kind of hanging around here, going sideways, not really telling us anything. I know I want to short the stock if it rallies up to our 65 EMA, which has now changed to 24.73. Great. Let's adjust our order a little bit. 24.73. And we'll modify our order. Let's go back to win. See if that's still in a trend. It's still, oh, look at win. Beautiful. Still in a beautiful trend, but it's not pulling back to our 9 EMA to give us a chance to get in it. And if you remember, let's just raise this up a little bit to 125.58. Again, guys, you know, people try to make this so much harder than it is. It's not. Day trading is not rocket science. We've given you all the tools. Now we're putting them into practice. So we now raised our limit order up to 125.48 in win. What's another trade we can be looking for now in win? Remember we talked about consolidation. And that's a period of a time when a stock is in a trend that it goes sideways for a little bit, for like 25 or 30 minutes, and then shows us it's going to break out of that trend. Well, if we look at win, it really hasn't given us a chance to do that the entire day. Here, if we were here for this trade, this is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, this exactly hit our 9 EMA for a trend trade. Price was about 123.60. We bought 100 shares on a 9 EMA, 123.60. We are up $3.20 on that trend trade right now. Right now, we're up $3.20. We're up $323 if we bought 100 shares of this stock on that trend. If it would have broken this trend by 50 cents at any point, we would have been out of the trade. When stocks are trending, and I think Wynn had earnings today. Not that that's important. It doesn't really matter, which is another good point. People ask me all the time, David, why is this stock going up? You know why stocks go up? One very simple reason. More people are buying this stock than selling it. And that's the only reason that matters to us as day traders. We are not fundamental analysis. I don't care what the earnings are. I only care what this chart shows me and where is my opportunity to make some money in this chart. So here would have been a beautiful opportunity to get in this trend trade on the 9. We would stay in this until it shows us it breaks the trend by more than 50 cents. Is there another trade we can possibly look for in this chart? There is. We're not there yet. Remember our far from moving average trade. And that is when the stock gets at least $1.50 away from the closest moving average and our relative strength index gets above 80. Look where we are right now, relative strength. We're sitting at 71. So even though this stock is up $6 or $7 for the day, it's not overbought right now. It's not screaming and telling us we want to short this stock. This stock is in a trend. One of the first things that we talked about when we first started talking about trading was the trend is your friend. You guys remember that? And we never want to fight the trend, ever. This is a recipe for disaster if you're saying to yourself, oh, Win can't go any higher from here. It's already up $7. Couldn't be the exact opposite. Win can end up being up $12 today. So never fight the trend. Now we're probably going to have to go adjust our 9 EMA up to 125.54. Let's do it. It just traded at 126.54. This stock, if it comes down to our 9, will have gone down $1. That's probably going to be a very good entry point. Let's adjust our order. And this is what we do as day traders all day long. One very important thing, ladies and gents, is we might sit here for the entire day and not make a trend and not make a trade. It happens. That's where the patience and discipline comes in. And we also might have a day where we make 12 trades in a row. So it's very subjective. But again, one thing we will never do is push a button just to push a button, ever. So let's adjust our win up a little bit. Our 9 EMA to enter our trend trade, 125.63. There's an old saying that day traders, good day traders, are going to be bored most of the time. And it's the truth. Because we are waiting for our opportunities to set up. Bottom line is we spend more of our time not trading than we do trading, but we're waiting to put the odds in our favor on every single trade that we do. You know, that's why I can't stand when people say to me that day trading is gambling. Yes, if you haven't taken our course and you don't know what you're doing, absolutely day trading is gambling. But once you take this course, you're going to see that it has absolutely nothing to do with gambling. I'll give you a little analogy. And I've taught probably 200 or 300 poker players how to trade stocks. And any poker player will tell you that it's all about patience, discipline, and money management, and putting the odds in your favor. So you're sitting and playing poker, and you look at your pair of pocket aces. Does it mean you're going to win every time that you have that? No. But are the odds in your favor of winning? You bet your bippy they are. And that's what we're doing as day traders. We are not getting into any trade until the odds are in our favor. That's why we make money on more than 80% of our trades, because we're waiting until the odds are in our favor. So let's whip through a few more stocks. Okay, so guys, ladies and gentlemen, in Win, we just entered into a trend trade at 125.53 on our 9. So we're going to add to that trade. Remember, we want to get into a trend trade on both our 9 and our 15 EMA. So we're going to add to our trend trade if this stock goes down to 125.21. 125.21. We are going to add to our trend trade. Okay? And now we have entered into this trade. We just bought this stock on our 9 EMA at 125.55. Idea behind this trade is it came back, it hit the trend, and it should start turning back up now. If this stock comes down and hits the trend line and breaks it by our 30, 40, 50 cents, we will just get out of the trade. So now we are in a trend trade and Win, and we're trying to add to it if it comes down to our 9 EMA. We're just going to watch the stock now. We have a position, nothing to be nervous about. We're in a trade. We're going to see how it starts to play out. Let's see if we can find another couple other stocks that are moving. One other thing. Let's go to, hold on a minute here. Ooh, Bank of America. Let's go back to our Bank of America. Remember, we bought the stock at 24.01. Look where it's trading now, 24.05. We sold that stock, and I think we made $1 on the trade. Make sure once you get out of a trade that you cancel all the other orders that have to do with that trade. Get rid of your stop order. And one thing about a stop order, when we put a stop order in the system, when it hits our stop, that means somebody else is buying the stock and a trade is taking place. So very, very important. So let's just whip around now. And again, so I'm in a trade. It doesn't mean I have to stand on top of this Win trade all day long. I got another order in to buy more if it hits our trend at 125.20, and we'll see how that trade plays out. Let's go back to X. And we can see X is kind of doing anything. When I'm looking at a stock like X and I have an order up at this 24.65, if the stock is not close to hitting that, let's cancel our order. And I want to explain to you why. I am watching this stock. I put my order up here to sell the stock at 24.65. But because it's so far away from where that is, I don't want to have my order out there. And I'll explain to you why. We're watching letter X right now. What if all of a sudden, and this can happen, this is the risk of the market, news comes out in letter X, and they have a new CEO, and they signed a big contract with a steel company, or our president says something about steel, and all of a sudden the stock goes from 23.40 to 27. Why would I have my order out here at 24.65? If that happens, I'm in big trouble. The stock just went up $3, ripped right through my level where we had an order, and now I'm in a hole for $2.40, trying to figure out what's going on. So when stocks are far away from where we're trading, no reason to have the order out. We're going to be watching them. We're going to keep our eyes on them. We're going to be watching it very closely. Let's just try to go through a couple more stocks here. And again, today, the day you're watching, it's almost midday, and things have really slowed down a little bit. Which brings me to my next point. There are going to be days when we walk in and we don't see anything moving a lot on our rises and fallers board. That doesn't mean we're not going to trade. We have a go-to group of stocks, which you can download. And all of these stocks fit our exact trading criteria. They have enough volume, they have enough volatility, and they have enough liquidity. So you'll be able to download that, so when we're sitting in a quiet market, you'll still have stocks to trade. Trust me when I tell you, there is always going to be something to do in these rises and falls, every single day. We're going to find something to do as traders, but we're never going to force anything as a day trader. I think we should wrap this up for now, guys. Keep in mind all of the rules that we taught you. Money management being most important. Don't let things turn into big losses ever. Respect your stop orders. Patience and discipline. You follow all of these things, you're going to be well on your way to becoming a successful day trader.